Severance gets a makeover, Adam Scott's transformation as Mark S. After 2 seasons of Severance, it's hard to believe that Adam Scott's character, Mark S., started out as a devoted employee at Lumon Industries. At Lumon, employees undergo a procedure called severance that splits their consciousness into an innie and an outie. While innies like Mark S., Helly R., Irving B., and Dylan G. work together, outie Mark mourns the supposed loss of his wife, Gemma Scout. Interestingly, Mark wasn't always meant to be such a loyal company man. According to interviews with Scott and Ben Stiller, the executive producer and director, Dan Erickson and Stiller initially saw Mark as a cynical character, something Scott is known for playing. However, Scott believed Mark needed to trust Lumon without reservations. At the beginning, there was a hint of cynicism about Lumon from innie Mark, Scott explained. We shifted him to be more of a company man initially and let Helly be the source of that cynicism. This change allowed Helly to introduce skepticism about Lumon, adding depth to the story. By season 2, Mark S. and Mark Scout are deeply disillusioned with Lumon. After an overtime contingency, Mark S. discovers that Lumon's wellness counselor, Ms. Casey, is actually his wife Gemma, shattering his trust in the company. This leads to a dramatic scene where Mark argues with himself via camcorder, assisted by his sister Devon and former manager Harmony Coble. Scott found this scene challenging but rewarding. You have to come up with different vibes when you're acting alone, Scott shared. I varied it as much as possible to give the directors options. This pivotal moment marks the first time Mark questions both Lumon and the outie world. Scott explains, Helly has been warning me about the outies, but I never fully believed her. Then, I hear outie Mark pushing hard during reintegration and get his name wrong. It's like, is this guy completely bullsh**? Ting. Adam Scott's casting in Severance feels like the culmination of his career. Erickson wrote the dual roles of Mark S. and Mark Scout with Scott in mind, seeing him as the perfect everyman to introduce audiences to the show's complex world. Scott himself agrees, saying, for 25 years, I've been working towards a role like this. Watch Severance on Apple TV+ now to see how Adam Scott brings Mark S. to life.